Hey Spuddies, Potato McWhiskey here, and welcome to Age of Wonders Planetfall. This game is getting an absolutely gargantuan update patch. I think it's called the Tyrannosaurus update. There's a huge amount of new content. I think that one of the developers said he had just 20 pages or more of patch notes. I can't remember exactly how many it is. But, and to coincide with that, this will be a sponsored video from Paradox. If you're watching this video, that means the update is out right now. And if it's the 18th to the 21st of February, the game will also be on sale for you to go and check it out as well. There will be links in the description of the video if you want to go check all that out. And there'll also be a pinned comment with all the information that you need. If you've played the game before or watched me play the game before, you'll notice that right from the get-go, there's already a number of different things going on here. We have, instead of this being new scenario, this is actually a new planet. This is they kind of renamed things to make it a little bit more obvious that this is the main way to play the game. And we're going to be just doing a normal medium Imperial world, medium size, hard difficulty, normal game intensity with 6 players on a Pangea map. There's a few new things with this system. For example, you can go the no colonizer mode, and I kind of want to try that. So we're going to go ahead and plug in no colonizer mode, which should increase the game speed and increase the number of settlements, which will be kind of how you expand. You won't be able to expand normally with the sort of no colonizer mode. The only way to expand your empire is basically through taking over the already existing settlements, which is a really cool idea to change how the game plays. Let's go ahead and select the commander we're going to play with. I actually really like the sort of syndicate because they have this really good starting bonus influence, which is really, really powerful. This is a new thing. They have a starting bonus and a long-term bonus, and each sort of race gets a new kind of bonus, which is really, really interesting and kind of changes the game up. Like the Amazons get a unit, they get food from killing animals. These guys start with energy and hurrying. Production is cheaper, more cosmite, and your units don't get a delay when they get unit mods applied to them. Lots of really, really cool stuff. Like the Vanguard, for example, their units are just always one rank up. So this feels like a really substantial update to how you're going to play the game. But we're going to play as the Syndicate. We're going to go ahead and take the Skilled Diplomat because that'll work really well with the starting influence. We will get 300 relations with all races, and the influence cost for bribing armies to leave sectors will be reduced by 35. By doing this, by taking both of these, we'll be very easily able to take control of our early game monument right beside our starting city. I'm going to take Kleptomaniac. I feel like this is kind of objectively the best one because 10 energy really isn't that much. The only thing where it really hurts you is in diplomacy, but getting that free mod and the extra point that you can spend on extra stuff is really, really nice. And I think I want to try out going for the Syndicate Void Tech because the Syndicate use arc damage and the Void Tech uses arc damage, so they kind of work with each other quite well. In terms of what else we're going to pick up, I really like picking up Data Repository because it gives you a really strong start. On the other hand, Colonist Cryopods, in conjunction with the extra influence, the Skilled Diplomat, and Colonist Cryopods, you can pretty much annex the monument that you get at the start of the game on turn 1, which is like a huge advantage. I really can't overstate how big of an advantage that is. So I think that's how we're going to go ahead and do things. We've got 0 points. Let's go ahead and just randomize our leader. I like this blue guy, Olkadan Ridal. There we go. We've got everything set up the way that we want. Let's go ahead and launch the game. I think the really interesting thing about not being able to build colonizers is because it kind of changes what you want to do in the early game. Normally, I would try to just rush to settlers and get as many cities on the map and defend them as possible. But without being able to build settlers, I kind of have to be a little bit more focus on exploration. The exploration aspect of the game gets a lot more focus in this. That's why I might start with a runner, but of course we're going to start with the central, replicator factory. We want to get our production up, and then we'll pop out a runner as well right after that to go explore the map. We already have a couple of runners. I believe they added the auto explorer, and the auto explorer is actually really, really good in this game. They do a really good job of finding useful things and actually picking them up. So this is I would say this is one of the best auto explore features in any game I've ever played. So like I was saying, we have over here the, what are these guys? The Forgotten Empire, or whatever they're called. We're going to go swing over there and see if we can engage in some diplomacy with them. Oh, looks like one of our scouts has found a lone Paragon soldier. I'm going to go ahead and take that soldier, because what that means is I don't have to build another unit to max out my first hero stack over here. Normally, if we weren't playing the Syndicate and we didn't have like the really good negotiation, we wouldn't even be able to get these guys to move. So they're going to give us a quest, which I will of course accept, because quests are like a really good way to get resources and power and stuff like that. But we can now really cheaply get these guys to bounce out of here. And because we took the colonist cryopods... Wait, didn't I take colonist cryopods? I could have sworn I took that. Did I misclick? Maybe I misclicked. But no, I should have been able to annex this right away, which is like a huge advantage. In terms of opening up on technology, I really like going for either phase manipulation or magnetic energy storage as the Syndicate. And also, because there's no colonizer units, I'm not in a rush to get frontier facilities, so I can go for something like diplomatic niceties, which will give me access to noble diplomats and indentured contracts. This will make my indentured units cheaper to build and maintain, and this will give me more influence and energy for every faction that I have good relations with, which kind of feeds into the whole idea of the Syndicate being a very diplomatic faction anyway, so I feel like this all works together in a really beautiful way. Even if I did slightly mess up the execution by not taking colonist cryopods, I really swear, I thought I took that. Maybe I did. Maybe the 2 extra population thing, I messed it up. I don't know what I did. In any case, we only have to wait a couple of turns and now we can annex this landmark to our capital. And this will give us a huge amount of production because it's actually level 4 industrial exploitation, because they completely changed how the exploitation system works in the game. It used to be that every like sector would start off at level 1, and then its like level of potential was dictated by these things, but now it's like its starting level is dictated by these things and its potential is sort of dictated by technology. So this will start off at level 4, giving me 25 income and 4 slots for productive citizens, which is crazy. And not only that, but I also get the Imperial Mining Facility, which has its own +10 and another +2, and will also allow me to build the Reinforcement Factory, which I think gives my units armor. I love this. I love this auto explore feature, because I'm like, one of my least favorite things in 4X games is micromanaging exploration units. So the fact that these guys like are really efficient at actually doing like reasonable exploration and finding materials and resources and stuff like that really makes me happy. So right now I actually have 4 scouts who are like hitting the map, and that's just how important scouting is in this game now when you're in the no colonizer mode, because I need to find settlements that I can use my influence to bribe. And I think these gray borders here tell me that there is a settlement here that I'm going to want to go check out after I take out these guys. Our very first battle, and the really, really nice thing that they've also done with the auto combat is if the auto combat doesn't go your way, there's this retry button down here. I think this is new. I don't remember this being in the game. Either this is new and it's an incredible addition to the game, or I just never saw it and I'm dumb. But either way, I love that this retry button is here, because it lets you kind of have your cake and eat it too when you're doing your auto battles. You can like automatically win the battle, but if it doesn't go your way, you can always go back and try it yourself. But that completes our very first quest with the Forgotten, and we'll pick up some science and production. I'm actually going to take that science and production and get a nice chunk of science to be able to finish these technologies. And we did indeed just finish diplomatic niceties, which allows us to plug in some new doctrines. We just finished magnetic energy storage, and with all that science we picked up, we can get phase manipulation in a single turn. And diplomatic niceties is done as well, like I was saying. So I think, well, I actually don't need frontier facilities as quickly as I would normally. Although there is something to be said to being able to build standard military infrastructure to be able to defend your colonies without having like actual live defense. But yeah, I'm going to be taking both of these. Most races can only take one of their doctrines that they start with, but the Syndicate are special because their long-term bonus is they get an extra doctrine slot. So normally we would only have one, but because we're Syndicate we have 2, so I can take both of these. I'm going to take indentured contracts, which will make my units cheaper, and I'm going to take noble diplomats, which will make having positive relations with sort of NPC factions will give me influence and energy, which will allow me to influence them even more and, you know, just generally have a larger army. We unlocked the static buildup module, so I'm going to go ahead and plug that into my indentured units because it'll make them a little bit more powerful. In particular, what it does is it gives them a 12 strength chance to apply static charge, which lowers the target's static resistance, which means if you have these guys focus firing on a target, you can do tons of damage. I would like to have given that to these guys as well, but they don't actually have energy damage. I think there might be a mod that I can get for them that gives them energy damage. I can give it to my hero though, who actually has the tactical AED assistant. This is the thing that they quote unquote stole at their, you know, when I recruited them, which is really, really cool. It actually allows me to revive one of my units once per battle at 50% of their health, which is actually like a really, really powerful tier 3 defense mod to start the game with, because it means I can play much more aggressively with my army because I can always revive one of my troops. This is another really, really cool thing that they implemented in the game. If you scout another player with a stealthed unit, you actually get to choose whether or not you meet them. You can like initiate diplomacy by clicking on meet player, or you can like know that they're there and not initiate diplomacy and remain concealed. And this can kind of be a useful thing because you know where they are, but they don't know where you are. We've got some red marauders down here that I'm going to want to take out. So let's go ahead and see if we can't do a little bit of diplomacy with this city. It looks like it is in fact a syndicate city. Now this army right here would be way too powerful for me. And I'm a few turns away from having enough influence to make friends with them. So I'll probably come over here, kill that, and then come back over here. And this is like pretty much one of the only ways you can get extra cities and colonizers is interacting with these settlements. So I'm going to want to look for as many of those as I can. We just unlocked phase manipulation. I kind of would like to get exploit weakness. This can be really, really good because it gives your units 20% accuracy. It's a really, really strong early game upgrade. Frontier Facilities has done researching, which isn't a super important one, but I think our very first annex was actually a production annex. So we're going to go ahead and pick up production development. I think I'm going to go for a heavy growth and morale build here where I focus on those two while heavily building up my production and then relying on my armies to actually bring in science and money from doing quests and killing monsters and taking over caches and stuff like that. I think that's the kind of strategy I'm going to go for this game. So with that in mind, I'm going to build some standard military infrastructure to defend my colony. I'm also going to upgrade my production sectors, build my reinforcement facility and my military engineering guild. So with the reinforcement facility, my units will gain 1 armor, and with the military engineering guild, my units will gain 1 armor as well. Not only that, but it'll lower the cost of my non-elite units by 30% once I finish the production upgrade. So I'll be able to crank out units that have +3 base armor, which is pretty insane. The Forgotten actually have another mission for me, and they want me to go attack the growth. I don't like that I have to go attack the growth. I might decline this mission. No, you know what? I'll accept. I'll join forces with the Forgotten. We have ourselves another mission. I'm going to click the auto combat. None of my units died, although this guy was really, really close. Oh, nice. My commander leveled up too. There's also this archaeology adept thing. I believe they added an archaeological system to the game. It's kind of like this, and it's basically like little mini storylines that you can do in the game. We're going to definitely check some of those out. I might even take that as my promotion so that we're better at doing it. Yeah, I really like that. I'm going to take Archaeology Adept, and I may as well just grab Dead Eye so we have a bit more accuracy and crit chance. Another really, really cool thing they did is that exploration sites can actually be infested or occupied by enemies. So if I come over here to the Paragon Barracks, normally this would give me some kind of benefit, but I can actually go into it and see that it's like infested by these units that I can come back and fight. I'm not going to fight them right now because they would tear me apart because all my units are hurt, but it's definitely something we're going to be checking out in a few turns. Dominion of Purification is researched. This is going to give us Mantra of Clarity, makes our units stronger when they're debuffing or buffing people, and we also get Focus Flames, which makes our psionic attacks do fire damage. We also get Cleansing Pulse, which isn't super important because it's basically a debuff, tactical operation, but this is especially good for my Syndicate Overseers because I can give them Focus Flames, which will not only increase their damage, but give them the chance to do burning on their attacks and change their damage type to burning. But if I also give them Mantra of Clarity, that should work together with their things like Biological Recovery. Where is it? They have an ability here. I think it's Psi-Tech Revitalization. So yeah, like target units becomes 15% harder to hit. They get 6 thermal resistance. It's really, really nice. So this is just going to make my Overseer that much better. So I'm going to go ahead and mod him, and he should become the Cleared. Although I guess I could give him another mod. Do I want to give him the Phase Walker? It'd make him harder to hit. Or I could give him the Exploitative Targeting System, which would increase his damage and give him a better chance of hitting other people. The question is, am I worried about this guy dying, or do I need him to do damage? I think I'm going to try to get him to do damage. I think damage is kind of important in the early game. Looks like the Assembly have found me, and they do not like me. I'm going to tell them to stay out of my way. I don't think we're going to have good relations with those guys. But we did find a Plague Lord, which is kind of terrifying because not all my units are fully healed. But I think I'm going to go ahead and have a go at the auto combat. And you can see here, one of my units died, and I have the option to retry this battle, and that's exactly what we're going to do. Looks like they triggered all my overwatches, and we did a lot of damage to those pustules. Ouch! Parasitic infection. Holy crap, that was 23 damage on a single attack. Hope this leap attack doesn't do too much to me. Oh, they're not even leaping. Oof. These guys are a little bit stronger. Maybe I should have taken that auto-resolve. Oh no. I have a lot of regrets right now. Let's start doing some arc discharges to try and get some of these guys staggered and stunned. There we go. We'll pop off an arc discharge, hitting all 3 of these guys. Looks like we only staggered 2 of them, but that's fine. Pop a heal onto these guys. That'll give them focus flames and also just make it so they don't just get straight up murdered here. I feel like a psionic grenade here is the right move. It hits them all. So let's do it. We'll pop a psionic grenade there. That'll damage most of those guys. I'm going to have these guys step back and then blast them. Then I'll use these Paragon soldiers to toss a grenade and get another stagger off on these guys. Although that kind of did just break the cover and make these guys way easier to kill. Whoops. Can you guys get a better shot from somewhere? No, not really. This is the best shot you're going to get. I could actually... No, I'm just going to take the shot. Oh, and we crit them. Nice. That's beautiful. That's exactly the kind of thing. On a 40% chance to hit a crit, that's exactly what we needed. I'm going to do something a little bit unorthodox. So these units over here, the Echo Walkers, which also, this is a new part of the game. When you select a secret technology, you actually start with one of the units of your secret technology. I think I'm going to go ahead and teleport and create a copy of this unit behind these piggies so that we get a flanking attack. Now, they'll get an Overwatch attack, which sucks, but it is what it is. But then we'll get a flanking attack on them and stagger them as well. And the really, really cool thing about this clone is that only one of these units needs to survive. It's like basically a full clone. If one of these units survive, both of them, sort of like the actual unit itself, survives. So it really is like a genuine copy, which I think is really cool. Oh, he just resurrected the Destroyer. Yikes. Oh my god, 22 damage on an infectious chomp. Jesus Christ. I might have bitten off a little bit more than I can chew here. Kind of feeling some regrets. Although I will get the double Overwatch here, I think. No, just the single. But there we go. That should be the kill on the little baby piggies. And if I can get you over into this goop to be a distraction, that'd be useful. Because again, I only need to keep one of them alive. I'm going to do another tactical operation here. I actually, you know, as much as I hated on Cleansing Pulse, I'm going to use it right now to clear off these status effects. Now, I know I actually helped my enemy there, but I think that was worthwhile. All right, let's get this piggy shot to bits. We lowered his resistance. That's him dead. The hard part is figuring out what I want to do with some of these guys. I think I'm going to try to burn down these guys, and then we'll focus everyone on the Plague Lord next turn. Let's take our triple shot on the Plague Lord. Now, he might kill my hero, but I'm pretty sure heroes come back to life if they die in a battle, so I'm not too worried about that. Oh, he took the bait, actually, which I'm pretty happy about. That's perfect. So he killed the clone, but it doesn't matter because I have the original unit, which means the unit will survive no matter what. Let's start hammering this Plague Lord. I'll take a shot with this guy, and then I'm going to run my Overseers over here and use the Cerebral Override on my Indenture to give them a second turn and step them forward to get an even better shot. So I've got 85% chance of hitting. There we go, nice. Now I just hope nobody dies. I hope he doesn't have like some crazy AoE attack that like murders all my dudes. Okay, no, just some normal pain. I can accept some normal pain. Alright, we need to kill this guy this turn, so let's start hammering away at him. I think we've got this in the bag. I feel pretty confident. Yeah, there we go. We managed to take him out. Feels good, man. So like that's one of the things I really like about this game is that the tactical battles, especially in the early game, you can kind of get to choose the difficulty level you want to engage in. And you know, I really like the retry button. Because so many times in games where you auto-resolve, I feel like you get either like completely crushed when you would have won, or like an easy victory ends up with unit losses. So even though I auto-resolved this initially and I did lose the unit, I was able to like sort of do it myself and end up with a much better outcome in my opinion. That's something I really like about the game, because it always really bothers me in games when I'm stuck with the auto-resolve and I don't want to fight through a trivial battle, but I know if I auto-resolve, I'm not going to get as good as a result. This kind of lets me roll that dice, see the outcome, and then redo it if I don't like it, which is just great. I could take the food. I think I'm going to take the money because food and production are going to be taken care of, so I'm really just on the hunt for money and science. Oh, beautiful. We actually found a resupply station right here as well. And all my guys are hurt, but now they're back up to full health. And we could just move on to do this quest over here as well. This is another really cool change they made, actually. Happiness events are completely reworked. It's no longer based on like the output of a city, because you could like get a happiness event where, oh, the city gets double food for a turn, but you actually don't produce much food in the city. But now you just get a flat boost amount. So this time I got 10 influence, which again is brilliant because I want to be hunting down these sort of neutral cities that I can turn to my cause. Right, the Forgotten has another mission for me. I'm going to accept these missions, and I'm also going to go ahead and take over this colony now and convince them to join me. 45 influence. Now I could turn this city into a colony, but I would like to maybe have a look around and see if there's a better one, because really I have to think a little bit more carefully about where I settle my cities, because there's a lot less room on the map, so to speak, for cities. Two things that I would really, really like, maybe some kind of way to get Cosmite, and there is a Cosmite rift over there that I could take control of, and maybe another monument, or even near a sort of AI city to take control of that. Oh, this is actually a great spot to settle over here in the Carminia high-rise, because it has both a DNA vault and an Imperial War monument, which both give me science and food. This one gives me production and food, but more importantly, any units produced in this colony over here will be extra powerful. And it's still within range of making friends with this dwelling over here. I'm going to go ahead and lift this city into a colonizer and move it over this way. Now that I'm pretty more confident, I'm going to go ahead and recruit this hero. He's just going to sit in this city until we actually build up a little bit of an army. Looks like we met the Sci-Fish, and they have a task for me as well. I'm going to accept basically all the tasks that are given to me, because they're worth diplomatic influence, which is just a really valuable resource for trying to be friends with a lot of the different AI factions. Should be a pretty easy auto battle here. No losses, and my units leveled up. And again, I'm going to be selling off most of the rewards I pick up, so that, because that's going to be how I get the majority of my money to actually build up an army. Let's go ahead and found the Syndicate colony right here in Carminia High Rise. Now, both of these exploration sites are occupied, so I'm going to have to clear them out before I can get a benefit from them. But I'm not too worried about being able to pull that off. Nice one. We actually completed the Technologist, which gives me extra, let's see here, gives me a new doctrine, and it also gives me a hero item reward, the Beamer Rifle. Cool. Actually, maybe I should equip that on my guy. Let's have a look. What we've got equipped right now is the Tier 1 Pulse Rifle. If we equip the Beamer Rifle, we will have to de-equip this mod, but we could then instead put in the Phase Walk modulator, and that seems just as good enough to me. The Beamer Rifle would do 15 damage compared to the Pulse Repeater, which does 9 base damage. So I feel like the Beamer Rifle is just a straight upgrade here, so let's go ahead and take that. Let's have a little peek into this DNA vault and see what kind of army is in here. It's actually just a regular army of these normal animals, although there is a Tier 3 Hopperhound Eviscerator, which is a terrifying unit. I believe it's actually the evolution of the regular Hopperhound now. Kind of terrifying, kind of very terrifying. Oh my god, so the Manhunters evolve into Blade Maws, and the Blade Maws evolve into Eviscerators, so Jesus. 55 health, 4 armor, and a whole bunch of damage. Right, we've got our military infrastructure built up here, so let's start getting an army put together. I think I'm going to actually manage the Guild Assassin here. Let's put together an interesting unit. I'm thinking this guy's going to want the static build-up module to be able to do more damage, and then I'm also going to take the exploitative targeting system to have a higher chance to hit, and then combine this together. That'll make the capacitor. So I'm going to put one of these capacitor class guild assassins in my army, because I already have the hero that I want, right? It's a syndicate hero. So let's start off with one capacitor guild assassin. We'll put in one Lucid Overseer, and then 3 Indentures, and then we'll upgrade them as they come out. Maybe we'll build it's actually cheaper to build them upgraded, so we'll just wait for more Cosmite, I guess. So this is a kind of situation where you get choices like this all the time if you send out good scouting units. So I can either choose to get the piercing bow, which bypasses armor, but I don't really have units that can make use of the piercing bow. I think I'm just going to disassemble it for science. Capital is ready to annex another sector, and I think I'd like to annex another production sector just to turn this into an absolute production powerhouse. I think that's what we'll do over here in Slide Slopes. Looks like the Amazon are actually pretty friendly. They don't hate me, so I'm going to give them a compliment to try and keep them nice and happy with me. Maybe I'll be able to get good relations with them. Let's clear out this quest to pick up our rewards. Quick auto combat, like we had hoped. Everything turned out great, and we picked up some science and money, which are exactly the kind of things that I want to be getting from quests. More importantly, we actually did get a bit of diplomatic influence, which kind of makes me want to come over here to the minor faction here and see if they want to sell me anything. So I could buy a golem off them, and this is sort of looks like a melee unit, but I could be wrong. No, it's got defensive shot and essence corrosion. What is this, like a support unit? It's a skirmisher, okay. Looks interesting. Maybe I'll buy one of them and put it into my army. So we've got rot proliferation as an option here. Proliferate rot to the non-mindless unit. So I can bleak essence them, which transforms the unit into a desolate when it dies, permanently under your control. Interesting. So I can use this to kill things and get more units. So this is a tactical operation. This is like a spell that I can cast. Well, I don't see a reason not to buy that. Oh, nice. My commander leveled up too. Now, he has a beamer rifle. I kind of like the idea of making him a little bit more specialized towards ranged combat to do a lot of damage. So I think I'm going to pick up ranged specialist here so that he does 16 damage. Alright, so the Forgotten faction is making a demand of me. I'm just going to accept the demand of 38 money because it's not that much, and I don't want to get too many quests. Although, when will I be able to get another quest from them? 7 turns, they'll give me another quest. So I have plenty of time to make my way around the map and make some things happen, like clearing out some of these nests and building up the experience on my units and my heroes. Oh, gained a colonist. All right, nice one. I'll take that reward. Seems pretty good. The Forgotten Hunger for Dead. So they want me to build some crystal essence chambers for them. I can do this in 2 turns, and I will get a Serpion for this and some production, as well as some relations with them and some diplomatic favor. I'm going to do this for sure. I've got plenty of time to do it, so let me finish off building up my army, because it is about time that I got myself a second army in this game. Preventative control is finished. Now this will allow me to turn any of my units into indentured units, which are affected by a lot of different modifiers in the game, in particular for the Syndicate faction. But I also get the SciTech Vision Enhancer, which if I apply both the SciTech Vision Enhancer and the Exploitative Targeting System, the actual total accuracy increase here is 30%, and 30% is huge. Considering like at an average range, your unit will have like maybe a 60-70% chance to hit. Having both of these modules basically guarantees your units will be able to hit at range. Although the downside is you don't have any defensive modules, so it's kind of an all-in sort of strategy. Either way, though, I don't think I want to mod these guys anymore. Well, do I? Man, I could plug in the phase walk modulator, would make them much harder to kill because they would have a 50% harder chance harder to hit and +1 ranged armor. Or I could give them the vision enhancer, give them 2 ranged armor and a 10% chance better to hit. Oh man, that's hard. That's a hard choice. I'm going to sit on that decision for now because I'm not sure if I want to do it. Oh, I have found my one complaint about this patch so far, and that's that I can't click on this doctrine button to go to my doctrines. I have to like click over here somewhere. Yeah, I have to click on operations instead. It's like one tiny little microscopic complaint that I found about the patch is that I just can't click here to go to my doctrines. But let's see here. We could plug in the emissary here. This would give me 100% more influence from quests, which I think is really, really powerful because then I could use my influence to do a lot more stuff with regards to diplomacy, which is kind of like what I feel like the Syndicate are built around. Yeah, I'm going to go ahead and do the emissary here. Although Technologist is really, really good because it lets you drop more tactical operations in a battle, and they're cheaper to use. But I feel like Emissary is so good to get that extra diplomatic influence, because diplomatic influence is a really hard resource to actually get. In Melvor, I can annex a sector over here. I'm going to annex this sector because I want to get a hold of this Cosmite, because Cosmite's kind of the bottleneck that I have to getting like high-tech, really strong units. Another successful auto combat, getting us a few level ups. And I think, was that a quest? Nope, that was not a quest, but this is a quest down here that we can get a hold of. Melvor has an unexploited sector, and I think this is going to be a scientific sector over here. It's got a really high base level for science, and I think it's good to get some early science stuff. So let's go ahead and plug in the research exploitation there. And I'm having so much fun playing this game. I wasn't really expecting it, because when the game first came out, I really enjoyed it, but there was kind of like these things about it that just kind of annoyed me. You know, like, I don't know if you ever had that kind of situation where you're playing a game, you're like, man, I really want to like and enjoy this game, but there's like a couple of things about it that are just kind of rubbing me the wrong way and kind of like sapping the fun out of me. But I feel like they've taken care of like a lot of the things that I felt were just like really burdensome. And now I could just like have fun. I'm painting the map my color. I'm running around doing quests. I'm fighting battles. I'm auto resolving the ones I don't care about. Like, I'm having a really good time actually. So since I'm having such a good time, I'm going to do something a little paradoxical. I'm actually going to end this video here with another thank you to Paradox for sponsoring the video. And make sure you guys check out the links in the bottom of the description in the video. All that sort of, they'll be all down there. You can find them. There'll be a pinned comment. There'll be top of the description, all that stuff. And I think I might even continue this campaign and do like an edited little mini series. Anyway, that's it from me. I love you all very much. And I'll see you guys next time. Bye-bye.